you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you're joining me from. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Accept my greeting according to your time zone. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You can be among the first to receive it. Then go to the comment section at all times. Leave your comment, drop your contribution. If you have suggestions, make it out there. If you have any criticism, put it down on the comment section. It will make us to get better, presenting you a better program. Thank you so much.
Came to fight corruption. Today, Nigeria has become much more corrupt than it has ever been in history. The government of Nigeria is now much more corrupt than it has ever been in history. There has never been any government as corrupt as this very government. They don't only exalt corruption, they advertise it openly. They are proud of it. They initiate people into it. That is how bad it is now. The present government of APC in Nigeria advertise corruption. They initiate the youth into corruption. They promote corruption and sponsor it. And they exalt corruption. That is how bad it is. And someone will come and be telling me that in that situation, that you are going to have a nation. You are telling me that in such fraudulent situation, that it can be, will have a better life. You are telling me that in that kind of a situation, that you can be able to form a country, that you can have an election and have a good result. That is how evil they are. And those of them in Biafran land, those of them in the southern part of Nigeria, who are keen into this fraud because of their own evil agenda. That is why those of them that claim to be Ohanes and do hin and down. Ohanes and do hin and down. After seeing that all their evil cannot work, they came out, they say they are increasing their bounty on the head of our spokesperson to $100,000. No longer $50,000, $100,000. They want to double it. You don't have something, you don't have a job. You have $100,000, yet you cannot make a difference in Biafra land. You have $100,000, yet you don't have your own house where you hold your meeting. You don't have your own hall. Ohanezende Igbo hall in Biafra land, you don't have it. You go to Abuja to hold your meeting. But you have 50, you have 100,000 to put for bounty on a Biafra. You have 100,000 to put as a bounty on a Biafra. But yet, common assembly where you can be able to hold meeting, you don't have in Biafra land. Your meetings are held in Abuja. You go and rent a hotel and hold your meeting. Is there any establishment in Biafra land where your name is placed and they say this is done by Ohanes and Igbo? Anyone? If anybody knows about anyone, please write it on the comment section. If you know about anything that is built in Biafra land with the name Ohanes and Igbo, write it. All we see them getting involved is in criminality. The money that was paid on behalf of the Biafra, the money that was paid for Biafran war, victims of war, and also taking away the remaining of the bombs that were thrown in Biafra land. The money that was paid, billions that was paid, where is it? It was paid and directed to Ohanes and Igbo. Where did they keep the money? They shared it among themselves. What did they do with it? Nothing. Today, our Eastern Security Network are still discovering bombs that did not explode in the Civil War. Eastern Security Network, they are still discovering bombs that couldn't explode during the Civil War. And yet, you see people parading themselves right, left, and center, claiming to be this or that. Even though when they know they don't have the support of the Biafran, Biafrans don't know who you are. Biafrans don't know who you are. When you speak on the behalf of the Fulanese. You are acting as a mouthpiece of the caliphate. That is what you're acting as. And they plant you in Biafra land to come and destabilize us. Just as I said, They use you as the willing tools. The willing tool. They are using you against your own people. But you are late. That time has gone. We have passed that stage where you begin to command things and begin to deceive people. Today, Biafrans, our eyes are open. We are all, none of us is asleep. We are wide awake. And you cannot steal the property of a man while he's still awake. No. You cannot take away the property of a man while he's awake. It's either you kill him or something else will happen. Biafrans are very much awake. And we cannot allow you to take anything that belongs to us in this very generation. It will not happen. No matter how you try, no matter the propaganda, the blackmail you throw from east, west, north, and south, no matter how you try to work for the caliphate, no matter the amount they pay you, no matter how many you are, you cannot change what is coming. Because what is coming is the mandate of Chukwu Abiyam. Because it is the mandate of Chukwu Abiyam, it must surely come to pass. And I thank Chukwu Abiyam that I was supremely the Mazin Nanekan was able to key in into the time. And he started working on time. Even when you came and tried to stop his job, Chukwu Abiyam used him to anoint someone else. And today, the Joshua our time is doing a great work. He has become a thorn on your flesh. When he speaks, when he roars, the whole place will be shaking. When he makes a statement, everywhere will be running helter-skelter. Today, it is very clear where we are heading. Very soon, our freedom will come. You think you can stop it? Try more. You think you can stop the freedom of the Biafran people? Try more. You're wasting your time. Nothing will stop us from getting our freedom in this year that we are in. And very soon, you'll begin to see things that you never expect you to see. Those miscreants, the world is now hearing them. Those miscreants, the world is going to call them to table. Those people you say they have nothing, you begin to see how the hand of God will turn things around. The hand of Chukwu Abiyam will turn things around. And what you can see, you will never believe. I don't know why some people are still believing that somehow you can be able to walk out Nigeria. You can't walk anything out. I just bumped into a video where the northern elders were making a statement, and you see the kind of arrogance they display in that very statement, claiming that they have made the highest contribution in this Zoological Republic, that they are the one that contributed most in Zoological Republic. What contribution do they have? What contribution has they made? In what way? By taking the life of innocent people? By committing genocide, as encouraging genocide and committing genocide? By bringing all the terrorist group in Nigeria? Is that the good things you have done? What contribution have you made? And before you know it, they claim to have the greatest number. They are the kingmakers. They can make anybody they want. That is how fraudulent the zoo is. Now they no longer talk about southern presidency or northern presidency. All of a sudden, it has disappeared. How they say whoever wins, let him take over. Whoever wins should not be challenged. And if anybody is being challenged because he's from the north, that they are going to take action, threatening all the ethnic groups as usual, threaten everybody. And when you hear them speak, they tell you they have taken their stance, and they are going to speak and reach out to other northern states. Go and listen to that very press release that they made. Then you begin to understand why we are doing what we are doing. You are not wanted. We are not part of the zoo. We are not part of the contraction. We are not part of the business. We are not in their project. So why must we continue to be among them? You don't want us to be part of you. You don't want us to go. You don't want us to be alive. Are you God? How can you play God on the children of Chukwukabiam? How? How do you think you can play God on the children of Chukwukabiam and you survive? You can't. There's no way you can play God to us. We are going to take that which belongs to us and we're going to save our generation to come. No matter what you like, anything you like, just go ahead and continue to do it. You can never make a baby. The only thing you can do is this propaganda you're pushing around. The destruction and distraction you are causing in our midst. But you cannot make us to stop seeing the real enemy. You are trying to divert our heart and make us to begin to see ourselves as a problem. You want to change our mind to make us to begin to see our brothers and sisters as a problem. You can't succeed. We know who the problem is. We know who the real enemy is. But I pity those of us who are giving themselves as a willing tool in the hand of the enemy. Just as Judas did. So many of them today who are selling out the people. Inside them, they are doing it just for their money, for greed, for fame. Just like Judas sold Jesus just because of the money. It's not that he sold Jesus out of hatred. No, he didn't sell Jesus out of hatred. In fact, he didn't even know that Jesus would be arrested. He just wanted to grab the money, 419. That is what many Biafrans today are doing. They want to sell their brother and grab the money. They have seen betrayal as a great opportunity to be rich. Betrayal. The Fulanis have made betrayal in that contraption as a means of being wealthy and popular. Once you are willing to be a betrayer, they will make you rich. And go and check every politician in Biafra land that is rich. Check them. Some of them, they don't even hide their shame. They will tell you that they were made by Fulanis. They don't hide their shame. And that is why when they want to deal with them, they will just off it and they deal with them. Look at Rocha Sokorocha today. Rocha Sokorocha, all this while, have been boasting. I lived in the north. I was built by the north. I grew in the north. I have business in the north. I love Northern. He speaks Hausa more than the Hausa people. But after all said and done, where is Rocha Sokorocha today? Ask yourself, where is Rocha Sokorocha today? He has disappeared. Completely forgotten. This is a man who wanted to contest presidency. He has invested all his lifetime in the northern part of Nigeria. Even as a governor, he was still invested in the north. His scholarship, the northerners get the scholarship more than any other region. But when it comes to the time of their power, they don't care who you are, what you have done. The same thing they did to Goodluck Jonathan. Why Goodluck Jonathan was building and magic school for them. When he came for campaign, they stoned him and burned his campaign vehicle. A sitting president. Some of you can never learn. You can never learn from the past. A sitting president who built more school than any other northern president in the north, just to educate them. But when he came to campaign, they threw stone at him and they bombed his campaign vehicle. And they made sure that he never survived. Look at the recent one, Okorocha. Okorocha today, they have reduced him to zero. Even the press don't even interview him. Press don't even know his house again. But formerly, he was always in channel television. He was always the star boy of the north. Even when the Biafra land said they will not vote anything to this Janjaweed party, Okorocha stood his ground and he was the only APC man in the whole of Southeast. But look at how they treated him. They threw him to the dustbin. The same thing with the Oju Zokalo. Oju Zokalo would tell you how the North made him who he is. How the North was his pillar. How he gave them land without mind. How he has been trading with them. How he has been in the corridor of power with them. But when it came to presidency and he tried to make a move, you saw what happened. When he tried to make a move, they arrested him, sent him to prison. And before they let him go, of course, he signed some documents. And since then, he is singing a different song. Anytime you hear him speak in politics, he's only in support of the North. He can never support his region. Never. Not in his lifetime. If he's there, he goes to jail. These are the kind of people you have as politicians in Biafra. Every single one of them is corrupt. Just like Northerners. But the Northerners know how to preserve their criminals. The same way they know how to preserve their terrorists, they also preserve their criminals, political criminals. The political criminals are not, they protect their criminals the same way they protect even their terrorists. You have heard them telling you that their terrorists is the warriors. That is their warriors. They recruit them into military, they recruit them into police. They put them, place them under federal government salary. They are terrorists. But when you come to your own side, your agitators, people that are agitating for a legitimate right, self-determination, they unleash mayhem on them. They send military after them. They shoot at them. They destroy lives and property. And nobody seems to talk. And people be going about their business as if nothing is happening. Today you see the situation of the Zoological Republic. Why you are busy in the southern part of Nigeria, thinking of how to get money. Why you are busy crying on a daily basis in the southern part of Nigeria, thinking on how to get your money from your bank. In the north, they are telling them to keep their money, continue to use the old money. You saw a governor, a sitting governor, advising his people, continue to transact with your old money. If you are being paid with it, accept it. If you are receiving, if somebody give it to you, receive it. They shouldn't worry. They shouldn't worry at all. They shouldn't bother. They should stop going to bank to keep their money. Keep their money with themselves and continue to transact with those money. And immediately after they took over from power, that they're going to go back and make sure they return back that very policy and they can be able to use their money. As they're making that plan in the north, what are they telling you in the southern part of Nigeria? What are they telling you? Nobody is talking to you. You are fighting to get even money to eat. And when you fight and protest, they open fire on you. Look at what is happening in Edo State today. Edo State have become a war zone. Lives have been lost in Edo State because they are demanding for their own money. Money they worked hard for. People cannot have access to their money to buy as little as food, not for luxury, to buy food. And for their daily activities, they can't find the money. And they began to protest in Edo State. And what happened? They opened fire on them. But the funniest thing that so many of these people who are putting their life on arm's way today, they will still open their mouth and speak against Biafra. They will say they don't know what we are fighting. Today, hand is meeting every one of them. That thing that the Biafrans saw and they are crying and say they want to leave the zoo. Today, it is affecting every part of that contraption. Everybody can see it clearly. Everybody can feel it and they can see it. That today, it is not about the Biafrans alone. Our brothers in the Edo State, sometimes when you talk about it, you see some of them, they think maybe you are trying to dominate them or what. They think maybe you are trying to feel. It is not about superiority. It is not about dominance. This is a life and death matter. It's about saving of life. It is about every one of us coming together to talk about our future. That is what it's all about. It's about how we are going to save our life collectively. How we are going to fight to get out of what we have found ourselves in collectively. That is what it's all about. It is not about any propaganda, blackmail, or no. It's not about dominance. It's not about showcasing who is more smarter than the other. That's not what it's all about. But most most times you see the Janjaweed misinterpreting our intention to them. They misinterpret our intention to our brother from Edo State. And sometimes you see them, they begin to compete with us. They begin to see us as rivals. We are not rivals. The same problem we are facing is what you are facing, only that you have failed to look down and recognize that you have a problem. Those that have recognized their own problem are fighting it. Instead of you to allow them to fight it or join them to fight because it's going to affect you, you go ahead and begin to blackmail them. But today, look at what is happening. Every time you protest, they open fire on you and nobody talks. Every time there's a protest, they open fire on you. How many times do you see them opening fire in the north in protest? Or even protesting? If not, they won't protest because everything is going well for them. Everything is going well. That's what I'm telling you. Everything is going well for them. Now, look at this monetary issue. The change of currency that is affecting the south of Nigeria is not affecting the north. You see their governors giving them assurance. Continue to trade with your own money. Transact with it. If you are paid with it, receive it. If you want to buy something, buy with it. Don't even bother yourself taking your money to the bank. Keep it to yourself. Keep your money with you. A governor, a sitting governor was saying that. Not just an ordinary sitting governor. Erofai, one of the cabals in the north. We know very well, one of the cabal in the north, an insider, telling them, captured in a video, telling them. But what are they telling you in southern part of Nigeria? What are your governors telling you? What your governors is doing in the southeast is to call the military to come and fight against the ESN. What they are doing in the southeast is to tell you that Ebubeagu, that the court has bound, will not be bound. Ebubeagu that is taking the life of innocent people on a daily basis, and courts say they are disbanded. A governor is telling you that over his dead body, that Ebubeagu will remain. These are the kind of things they can support and stand for. Because Ebubeagu have become their political tool and talks. It has become their killing machine that they are using against the masses to operate and suppress the masses. And they are scared. Without this, their instruments of destruction, what is going to happen? Even when the court have said, disband this group, a governor is standing his ground that he will not. Because he has the backing from Abuja. Abuja sponsored the Ebubeagu. The caliphate, Ebubeagu is working for them to destroy life in the southeast. A lawless country. Country that doesn't obey law. They don't obey the law. They don't obey the law. If you are a country that obey law, you cannot be choosing the law to obey and which one not to obey. And every time you hear them come on the national TV, just like the late Muhammad Buhari, coming out to tell you that you respect the law. That whatever the court says, the judge says is final, an issue of money and all that, will uphold the justice. But when that justice is to be served to people in the southern part of Nigeria, mainly the Biafran people, that justice will be denied. Then they will forget. They will forget that you have to respect law and order. Our Supreme Amazon Nnamdi Kanu have been declared innocent. The court, 3 judges unanimously said, let him go. He is discharged. 3 judges, not 1. 3 judges unanimously said, let him go. Did they allow him to go? They never did. They didn't listen. Up to today, they are still holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And while you are holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you want to come to his house and conduct the election. And you think that Chukwu will permit you to do that. Of course, he will not permit you. He will not permit you. And our spokesperson, Master Simon, have already made it clear. He have already given you the expo. If you want a change of narrative, release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. If you want a change of narrative, release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. What you will do is not writing letter. I don't know why people in the Zoological Republic don't have common sense. Did you think everything is by fraud? You think everything is by bribery? You think everything is by corruption? It is not everybody that you can bribe. You can't bribe everybody. You can't deceive everybody. You cannot get everybody involved in corruption. There are still some people who you cannot be able to get into that corruption. You know the right thing to do. As you are so desperate about your political whatever. And our spokesperson, Master Samanaka, have given you the option. If you want to see a change of narrative, release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is the only condition. There is nothing attached to it. Release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. Let him go back to his father's palace. Then you can begin to see a change. You can begin to speak a different language.